We are still at the kitchen table because we are getting into some things, and the kitchen table is where we get into some serious things like financial planning and getting really honest about what we really don't want to talk about. But since we're talking about worth, I want to talk about your net worth. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to Ladies Listen Up. I am your host, Gwendolyn, G.R. Houston Jack. My mama always told me, my mama, my grandmama, my aunties, they always told me, be careful of the company that you keep. They also said, birds of a feather flock together. Now, obviously, as a young person, you think to yourself, what does that mean? And my aunt, my great aunt actually, and my grandmother, they would tell these stories about how so-and-so was out with so-and-so and got caught up, and because they were hanging around this person, it was assumed they were doing the same awful thing, yada, yada, yada. And I have to admit, part of me was kind of like, whatever. But then, as I got into high school, it started making sense about the people that you hang around. They do influence you. They really do influence you. And even as an adult, the people you hang around can influence you, both positive and negative. So I get it now. I've been getting it for a while, actually. When they say, be careful of the company you keep. Or you are who you hang around. So if you're hanging around some hoodlums, some shiesty people, you're probably shiesty. Or you're doing something kind of shady. Even if you say, oh, I have never done, consider the people you're hanging around and you've watched this behavior. And in so many ways allowed this behavior. Yeah, that's probably where you run to, because, the statement is true in my opinion. So let's talk about that. But we're not talking about just your friends necessarily. We are talking about who you network with. Because your network is your net worth. Right, so let's knock down some lies first. So first of all, networking is not about climbing the corporate ladder. It's not about getting a job. It's not about getting some connection to get a seat at the table. That is a no. Networking is not about you. Let me roll this back a little bit. Networking is about developing and building meaningful, genuine relationships. It's about helping other people. It is about creating reciprocal relationships. So I will say that, but it's not about you. Let me just also put out my soapbox real quick. When people say, if you can't put me at the table or put me in the room that I want to be in, then I don't want to connect with you. Yeah, you've missed it. Because networking isn't just about you and what can somebody do for me. Networking is about what can you do for somebody else while helping yourself. It's about genuine growth, celebrating other people's accomplishments and milestones. That's what it's about. So let's talk about what's not working great with networking right now, shall we? There are people who have this idea that you have to be this extrovert, this go-getting person to be great at networking. Those are lies. Because you tend to think that the person who can speak a lot and shake hands and smile is the person who connects with everyone. Yeah, well, no. No. Some people, it can really, really turn them off. If you are not an extrovert, and I am not, I am an introvert, but I have extrovert tendencies. Your focus should always be what the focus is for networking, period. And that is developing a genuine relationship that is reciprocal. That's your focus. That's the focus, not a popularity contest. When it comes to women, sometimes some of us feel as if I have nothing to offer the other person. So why would I even think about attending a networking event or taking the time to do the social hour at an event? We all have something to offer. Every single one of us has a genius. It is up to us to recognize that genius, i.e. your self-worth, and promote that. Now, this isn't part of this conversation, but a quick little asterisk, if I may. If you go to a networking event and you're doing all the talking and no listening, you are not doing it right. Again, it's about helping the other person. So here's number 3. It's not about you. Networking is not about you. It's about the other person. I attended a worldwide networking event with Seth Godin about maybe a year and a half now. It's cool. It's very cool. And we had 5 minutes to exchange information. So it's like speed networking. One question that we had to ask: how can I be of service to you? That's the question. That's it. How can I help you with whatever you're working on? And as you talk to people and listen, you could share your expertise. Oh, well, I taught public speaking. I can help you with this. Or as one guy, he was like, oh, I've had a podcast for 18 years. Like, oh, great. We got to talk to people and listen to people. But if you're going to the cookout and all you're bringing is a plate, multiple plates to just stack up so you can eat later, you're missing out. And you also tend to not get invited because you're not bringing any dishes. You're not trying to help serve somebody. Like, you're not helping someone else eat. So you can stay at home. But that's not networking. Beneficial, reciprocal relationships where you can be of service to another person. So let's get to the point. Because we know that somewhere in there, as we talked about it, there's this self-doubt that I don't have anything to offer. The people in this room are well above me. Hoy vey. Have we all been there? I believe if you are a fairly modest person, you've been there. I mean, I can come across as cocky, but even I'm like, ooh, these some people in this room. We got some brains in this room. I'm feeling very I'm feeling lucky to be in this room. Okay. But we still have something to offer. Every single person has something to offer. And we tend to sleep on our geniuses. We tend to shortchange how valuable life experience is. Because nothing is going to teach you a lesson than life. I mean, I got a whole bucket of lessons over here, like a whole bucket of lessons. Because life has taught me some stuff. Live and learn. Hopefully we have learned. Live and learn. But when you get into some of these rooms where you feel as if I don't have anything to offer and these people are so much more polished than me, why would anybody want to network with me or connect with me? Stop. Full stop. everybody has a genius. Every single person. It is up to us to recognize that genius and be prepared to share it with whomever at whatever time. When we're out and about, I don't look to network. I don't. But I do find myself sometimes being in a situation where I got to talk about something. And then next thing we know, things are happening. But it's like anything else. If you are not open to the change that could happen, then it's not going to happen because you've already shut it down. Like some of this is mental. It's the mindset. It's the mindset. When you put it out into the universe, typically the universe conspires to assist you. But if our mind is not right, if you're coming into it with nothing is going to happen, no one's going to talk to me, I'm going to be out here by myself and I'm wasting my time, then you get exactly what you expected because you put it out into the universe. You're looking for that response, for those reactions. You're looking for it. And therefore, you will find it because you're hunting for it. Now, a number of us could be going through some sort of transition, which is when a lot of us decide to even start focusing on networking. Depending on your age range, and for those of us who are watching this show, most of us are going through, I don't know, empty nestering. Is that a word? Empty nestering? Becoming an empty nester. Let's just say that. Cleaning house. Cleaning house. Get the baby birds out the nest. Or we could be changing jobs, right? There could be some other life transition happening that's impacting us and in so many ways forcing us to get out and meet with some other people. If you're doing a job transition, oh my. That could be one of the hardest ones because, you know, ageism doesn't exist. So they say, but let me not go there. Let me not go there. When we talk about networking, a couple of things, and I'm going to go back to this. If your listening skills is not on point, start there. Start there. You can start with your family members to practice. It's the listening. Because if you don't listen to the other person's pain points, you don't know which one of your geniuses you can offer. But you have to hear people. You have to truly hear them and see them for where they are in that moment to even offer that. What was interesting during this worldwide networking event, the one question was, how can I be of service to you? And I didn't have an answer because I wasn't sure how anyone could help me. And so the first couple of interactions, I had the other person go first because I didn't know what I was looking for. And sometimes we don't know what we're looking for. Sometimes the need is not just sitting in our lap. It is not waiting for us at the door. We just can't see it. We may have a project that means a great deal to us, and it could be something as I need to fine-tune my target audience. I mean, I thought I have it, but until you start talking about it, this project you have, with a person who is genuinely interested in assisting you in growing this project, seeing it become whatever it is, you don't realize that you have more questions than you thought. You're like, wait a minute, I didn't even plan for some of this. We don't always know. We don't always know. When I was planning for this project, I met with some people in this worldwide networking event, and I got such great information. Again, topics, areas, places I didn't even consider or was aware of being aware of. You don't know what you don't know. Which is why, again, it goes back to talking to people. So let me slide into this other subset as I go through this. Because we talk about networking in terms of growing your net worth. Now, we are not leeches. This is not, let me see who I can jump on, whose coattail I can ride. This is not that. These are reciprocal relationships. So you're not here to sell yourself, your goods, your wares. You're not here to sell. You are here to assist. How can I be of service to you? But like anything, you want to be picky about the people you put in your circle. Now, I have met some people. I've met some people, felt some kind of way in the beginning. And then the more I got to actually listen to them and work with them, recognize that our values are not aligning. Yeah. They were not matching up. Some of the worth ethic was non-existent. And so now you find yourself saying, oh, wait a minute, wait 1 minute. I don't know if we can be in this relationship. Because I'm not getting it. I'm not. Or it may feel lopsided. Like here you are doing what you always do, but you're not getting anything from this relationship, this connection. Reciprocal is the key word in this conversation. It's equal, or something very much close to equal. Because if what they're offering is of no value to you, it's not going to work out. You want to have people who will mutually support you in your endeavors and your growth and lift you up. If you're always the person doing the lifting and the supporting, we are back to where we started 2 seasons ago. The ultimate caregivers, the ultimate cheerleaders, the ultimate like, no, we don't need that. We talked about boundaries and all those things. You know, we are not going back there. No. Not doing it, can't do it. It's got to be mutual for both parties, beneficial for both parties. When you're talking to people, and I get it, you know, when we're out and about, sometimes some of us put on some of the best performances. She seems so supportive. She seems so, I felt this connection. I felt like da-da-da-da-da. I've been there, so. And then you start working with them, meeting with them to work on projects and what have you. And you start noticing a couple of cracks in the surface. Is that a hairline fracture? Oh, no, it don't feel right. It don't feel right. Trust your gut. Check it. Check folks' behaviors. Listen to what they're saying. Watch what they do. Actions will always speak louder than words. I know these are really old phrases. It comes across as sage advice. It's good because it's true. We're not going to reinvent the wheel here. I don't want to hear what you have to say. You got to show me. And people will show you exactly who they are every single time. They will show you who they are. So pay attention. Listen to that. Listen to your gut. When I often say get you some good people, I mean that. Get you some good people. Now, if your energy is in a certain area, that is what it is. To them, they are good. That's great. Like minds. Birds of a feather flock together. All right, so keep that in mind. We're not judging that, but again, think about your company. So let's do this. Let's jump into some tips. Let's do the work, shall we? Now, here's one of my best stories about networking. I was on LinkedIn and I made a decision that I was going to focus on creating a network of photographers in other cities. That was my goal. That was last year. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. That was last year. And so on LinkedIn, it would say, hey, so-and-so is also a photographer. You guys should probably link up. And it takes a lot to send out some random message to some person and says, hey, I see you're a photographer. LinkedIn says we should link up. Why don't we link up? And sometimes you get responses and sometimes you get nada. But if you don't ask, you'll never know, is how I've always seen it. So with that, I did meet a person, my dear friend Peggy. We must have talked for hours. And her values are very close to my values. The way she works is close to the way I work. So it's always great to see what she is doing and see how I can support her and vice versa. It can work out for you too. There is hope for all of us. Please don't think that everybody out there wants to do you harm or steal your idea or bring you down. That is a no. That's a no. And we can be harmed by people. We can. And we have choices. Do I feel some kind of way about the people I believe wasted my time and took my money? I do. But I'm not dragging that baggage with me. Been there, done that. I'm moving on. Call it a day. But that won't stop me from looking for other great people to help me on this journey, because they're out there and I'm looking for those people. And when you have that mindset, that energy will automatically attract those people to you. Put out in the universe, it sends it back. So here's my first tip. Start small. Don't go out attempting to connect with 1,800 people. Just get one. Get one genuine connection. Start there and nurture that relationship. You know, the thing about LinkedIn, these connections, is that people get connected and then they don't even talk. They don't even talk to you. Now, I have it where if we get connected, I will send you a link for us to find time to actually chat for a little bit. And again, I ask, how can I be of service to you? Because how am I going to be connected and not know what you're working on and how you can be, like, it makes no sense. But there are people who just want to connect, to have numbers, vanity numbers. Okay, I guess, whatever. To each his own. I'm not going to judge it completely. But, you know. Think about that. Start small. Pick one person. Make that connection, nurture that connection, and then you'll be surprised how the person that you're talking to may know somebody that can help you with something else that you weren't even aware of. But don't just connect and leave it. Like, you got to nurture that. Here's my other one. You can prepare your story, and here's the deal. I don't like the elevator pitch. No, because we're not selling things here. But you also can't take all day telling your story. So have the highlights. So when someone says, well, hey, how can I be of service to you? Okay, well, I'm working on this project. It's got 12 weeks left and I'm stuck on this one pain point. Do that. Have something, but don't give them your whole life story. Unless, of course, the moment presents itself. Like if the person talks to you and says, hey, tell me about this, they have invited you to share. And I know for myself, if I can read the person, I'm fairly good at reading, I will give them the space to share what they really need to say. Because not everybody has that, right? Not everybody has a support group or a community where they can just share what's really on their hearts. Everybody doesn't have that. So depending on my emotional capacity, I will present that to someone if it makes sense to present it. So consider that. Think about being genuine. And you shouldn't even think about it, but I'm going to put it out there. Some of us get into this spot where we want to do this whole like inauthentic thing. Please don't. Just do you. You are enough. You don't have to exaggerate the accomplishments or finagle some of the dates. Just be you. Be open, be honest. It's enough. And people appreciate the authenticity. They connect with it because it's like, you know what? I just lost my job. Or I just did this. Or I just got laid off and I'm struggling. Oh my God. Just be honest. Be genuine. Be authentic. Should not have to tell you that, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. Here's my last thing. Keep learning. You know, we've talked about communicating. We've talked about being assertive, working on your voice. All of that comes together. I mean, there is something to be said about being better at speaking and being able to express yourself. There's a lot. There's a lot there. But keep learning. Attend workshops on communication, on networking, building your personal brand. Get out there and really work on you. So when you're out and about, you're prepared, you're ready. And it may not seem like much. I mean, networking happens everywhere. You know, it could be at someone's dinner party, someone's birthday party, a quick meet and greet. There's always opportunities to present yourself. The more practice we do, the better off we will be. Because practice prevents piss poor performance. It is what it is. But think about your current net worth with your current network. If you've got people in your circle who are exhausting and are always making withdrawals, you know, it's not my place to tell people to let go of some people, but I'm just saying, you might wanna look into that, just saying. Consider it. Or just see again, you know, if you look back and say, okay, maybe I should tell her XYZ and see where it goes. But as a reminder, your network is your net worth. And hopefully these are people who are taking you up, not down. And with that, I say, give yourself the space and grace to grow and learn. See you in the next one.